We've all heard the old saying that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Here at Hamilton Tile, that is our entire business model. Many contractors will try to maximize their profits, all while doing as little work as possible. And who pays the price? You pay the price. We don't mind working, and there's no one better to work for you than us. When contractors begin to delegate their work, the first thing that goes is their quality standards. We have very high standards, and we don't deceive ourselves by thinking that we can easily pass those standards on to an hourly wage worker. We're not trying to be the modern contractor, running crews and delegating work. That's not what we're about. What we want to do is provide a great service to our customers and a quality product by being skilled custom craftsmen to help us attain our goal, and at the same time get yourself an incredible bathroom with an experience that is stress and anxiety free. Learn more at hamiltontilega.com.
Hi, this is Jason from Hamilton Tile. We're here at our latest project that we just finished up. It's in Towne Lake, Woodstock, Georgia. Everything came out real nice, came out perfect, about as close as you can get. What do you think, Ben?
I think it turned out awesome. I mean, our customers are really happy, and that's our number one priority, is to serve our customers as best as we can and also provide some super quality. And I think we established that here. Jason, what were the challenges involved in this project?
The first challenge was we came in after somebody else had already started, so that's never really a good situation to be in. Worked through that, and we came to terms that everything had to be taken out to start over.
And what was wrong with this bathroom from the last guy that had started it initially?
He just got in over his head. You know, there were some things he knew how to do, but tile was not his forte. So he was just in over his head. He just didn't really know the proper steps to get where he wanted to finish.
So that speaks to being a specialist when you're doing a bathroom remodel. Yeah, maybe the guy was great at doing kitchens, or maybe he was great at siding or painting or electrical or whatever. But as far as doing a bathroom remodel is concerned, you know, this is a very specialized trade, and that's kind of what we're always talking about. What was the number one thing that you said that you would think that he was messing up on that was going to really cause a big impact later on in the project?
He had no plan or clue, I don't think, how to start flat plumb and as true as possible, because this floor was about 1.25 inches at level, and it didn't appear like there was going to be any plan to get it flat and level, and that's the number one rule for tile.
And initially we came in, they wanted a freestanding tub, correct?
Yes.
And that floor was so out of level. What would have happened if that tub had gone in with the floor the way it was?
It would have held water. You know, it wouldn't have drained. When you have a freestanding tub, you have nowhere to hide in a tub deck to hide the unlevelness. So your floor has to be level, otherwise it just will not drain.
Gotcha. Yeah, and also I think I seem to remember that the plumbing in here had to be redone properly, correct? What was wrong with the plumbing?
It wasn't really technically wrong, just unprofessional looking. It wasn't done cleanly, mismatch of parts. So we took it all apart, redid the layout of it, and just did a lot more a lot cleaner, simplified route for the pipes, and just cleaned everything up. Mm-hmm. Just did it correctly.
Mm-hmm. And this is a heated floor in here because this is above the garage. And what were some of the challenges? What are some of the steps in order to get a heated floor in a bathroom?
This one was actually fairly simple to get a heated floor, just because we already had power from the old tub deck, so we just used a 20 amp circuit from that. Other than that, the trick is just measuring for the right size kit and getting the kit that fits your space. You know, other than that, just follow the directions, and they're kind of self-explanatory. It takes some practice, but they're not too bad. And we want to do a handful of them.
And we use the Ardex floor heat system. And what is that? How is that different from the Schluter system or another comparable system?
Well, I really like the Ardex system. At first, I was skeptical because their wire isn't as flexible. It's a hard wire, and it has some memory to it. But it seems to, when you have to redo it and take up wires, it's easier to pull up out of the thing and re-snap in a new location. I like the fact, since it's a harder wire, it has some, like I said, it has some memory to it. When you go to shove all the wires in the electrical box, you can bend the wires, push them up in the box, and they stay there. So you're not fighting this rat's nest of wires trying to get everything crammed into that box to fit. Another thing I like about the Flexbone heat is you get to put self-leveler on top of the wires. So once we string the wire, we pour liquid backer board on top, and you don't have to worry about damaging the wire when you're working, because if you've ever worked on top of a heated floor, that is your number one concern. One nick, one wrong move, and you just ruined your week.
Yeah, to speak on that, to have that wire covered with self-leveler, that's the way to do it in my mind. It's just you don't have to really worry about anything once you have that wire covered. It's just a layer of protection while you're working, and that really lowers the cost, wouldn't you say? Because a lot of the problem with putting in heated wire is kind of the liability involved in it. You know, there's a lot of, you have to have a very specific type of person or a type of tile installer in order to work on top of heated wire. You have to be very conscientious and very careful, and you still have to be careful with this system, but it's a lot more peace of mind for us as installers. Jason, we did an initial video about the Flexbone on our YouTube channel, and if you had to score this 1 to 10, what is your overall score 1 to 10 for this system?
Well, nothing's a perfect 10 because nothing's perfect. But if I had to give it a score, I'd say a solid 9. I mean, it works out really well. The mat has very little memory until you get to the end of the roll. They all have it because it's just a tighter roll. Lays out flat. The backing grabs the thin set very well. Seems to stick very well. You can put self-leveler on top of it. The wire, if you make a mistake in your layout, it's very easy to snap out and redo your layout. This floor I had to do, I think, twice, just because we were in between sizes for kits, so we had to kind of really shrink it to get it to extend into the bathroom. So that only took maybe 10-15 minutes to unsnap the whole floor and put it in a different layout. And you can pour self-leveler on top of it. So I give it a solid 9. I really enjoyed it, and I like it a little bit better than the Dietrich heat system.
I was really happy with this. The homeowner actually GC'd this project. He ran everything. It really went smoothly. One thing that did happen was we had this window over here, and the window, once we started taking everything apart, it was severely rotted, so that had to come out. And we did this in the middle of the virus event here. Everyone's schedule was pushed back so far that we had to do this project took a considerable amount of time. A lot of it due to this window right here.
Yeah, there was a 7-week lead time for that window. They got it done a little bit faster. It took them about 5, which normally it would be like, a week and a half, 2-week thing. But the homeowners were, very understanding. We finished everything up, and we just had to come back and just finish the tile work a little bit around the window, grout the tub surround, and that was it. So it wasn't a huge deal. It only added about 2 days to the overall length of the job. But, he had to wait, a month and a half between us finishing the first part of the bathroom and then finishing the rest. So he was pretty understanding, so it wasn't a big deal.
And kudos to him, because this window situation talks to the events that can happen during a bathroom remodel that complicate everything severely. So you may think that you have a really a firm schedule and that this is all going to go perfectly, but you always find some sort of surprise. And this is one example of the surprises that pop up during a bathroom remodel. It's very rare that everything goes perfectly without finding something. And that speaks to me, and that should prove to you about how you want to work with people that are compatible with you and easy to work with. And I think that really, between both of us, the homeowner and us, I think that this is a good example of that. No big deal. Everything worked out. Yeah. Everybody's happy at the end of the day. And but again, that's one type of situation that can happen on a bathroom remodel.
And in all honesty, it happens almost every job. You're gonna find something that you didn't expect on every single job. This isn't new construction. A lot of people watch HGTV and TV, and they see this stuff go like clockwork. Well, and the reality is it doesn't go like that. You're gonna find something. There's gonna be delays somewhere, whether it be a material, rotten window, something came up with you or the homeowner. There's always delays in remodeling. So you just kind of have to learn just to go with the flow and just deal with it as it comes up, and everything's generally okay.
You said something about HGTV. You mean HGTV isn't real?
No, it's not even remotely close to real. It's TV. It's all fake.
Who talking about, Willis?
People seem to forget that. It's entertainment.
No! God, please, no!
We have our custom shower here. Let's talk a little bit about what we have going on here. What kind of tile is this, and where did it come from?
This tile here, it's a 4x12. We purchased it from Tile House in Marietta. It's where we send all of our customers. It has a little bit of a textured wave to it. Has a little bit of a raised edge, so it just gives it a little bit more visual interest. It's not your basic run-of-the-mill subway. I really like it. We use Prism Grout from Custom Building Products. We have the nice Schluter PVC profiles, so that way we don't have to use bullnose. Then we tap it off with a solid piece, one-piece quartz, made it look like marble. The shower floor, this is a hand-laid pebble shower floor. Every piece was laid 1 by 1 so that we don't have any sheet lines and we can get the appropriate grout spacing. for sanitary reasons.
Jason, can you tell us a little bit more about what bullnose is and what the weaknesses of bullnose is and why we don't like to use bullnose, please?
Bullnose is a factory-made piece that has a finished outside edge. So think of this edge, it's rounded and it's glazed. Well, if you get those, A, they never match. B, they're never the size that they need to be because they're made in a different factory, so they don't match the size of this. And C, it really limits your layout on what you can do. So you end up with a lot of little pieces because the bullnose goes up here, goes down here, you got extra grout joints, a lot of extra pieces, kind of things start looking hodgepodge and not really well thought out for layout wise. So by using profiles, you can eliminate all that and you have a lot more control over your layout. So you know the biggest pieces possible. Again, sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you have to have small pieces because that's just the way the layout worked out. But you can severely limit the amount of smaller pieces.
What we're trying to do is build something that's not only going to last, that's not only going to function the way it should, but when you look closely, you're going to see the difference here between us and the competition. Okay, we're working 100% of the time when we're in this bathroom with the goal that at the end of this bathroom, we're going to take a high definition video and our people are going to watch it. That's what we're thinking in our heads. We're thinking while we're working that another master tile guy is going to come in here and look at our work. That's the kind of attitude that we have, and that's the kind of attitude you'll be buying. When you hire Hamilton Tile, you're not buying a bathroom, you're buying us. That is the difference between us and the blow and go machine gun tile installers.
For this panel, it's one solid piece of 1/2-inch curdy board. It's held on behind here with little magnets. And I want to say there's one in each corner. So there's a total of 4. That's just to hold it on while the silicone dries. Around here, there's a piece of silicone all the way around here. So to remove this panel, all you gotta do is slice it all the way around, free it totally, and then you can just slowly pull this entire front panel off. Sure as heck beats if you ever have a plumbing leak and you gotta get in here, busting out tiles and then dealing with that nonsense, because that never ends well. That always turns into way more work than it needs to be. So this way, you have access to your plumbing fixtures, which you always should have access to your plumbing fixtures. This tub right here, it's a Kohler Archer. It's just a standard 5-foot drop-in tub. I believe this was 36 inches wide. Because he had such a wide opening, we could afford to go with the bigger tub. It's 19.5 inches deep. It's a very nice, comfortable tub. Don't get in your bathtub now. You'll notice that if you try to sit and lean back, you want to slide down. Well, these tubs have a really nice angle in the back. I'm 6 foot tall. And as you can see, I sit nice and comfortable in here. My legs are fully extended, which I can't do in a normal tub. So that's why we really recommend these tubs. They're good price, good value, made by Kohler, a reputable company, and you fit it nicely. One of the tricky things in this project, which we spent, both me and Ben, about 5 hours figuring out, this wall was already built before we got here. It was built fairly stout, and the way he built it, we couldn't take it apart without opening up a whole other can of worms. So we were stuck with the height. Well, we had to find the right combination of spacers and layout to be able to make right underneath here as a full tile, because I kept getting little slivers. Kept getting a 1/4-inch sliver with certain spacers, so I went through about 4 different variations of spacing to get this. That was obstacle number 1. And obstacle number 2 is we started fulls and halves in this corner, because this was the plumb corner in the shower. And as you can see, we pretty much followed the pattern all the way around. This is basically a full tile, but basically a full tile. That cut and the cut over here, right there, ended up, if I remember correctly, the exact same measurement. And once we nailed all these layouts where we were able to hit the heights we needed, we still had a 1/4-inch sliver right here that we wanted to get rid of. Well, no matter what we did, we couldn't get rid of it. So I came up with the idea, we'll just do a soldier course. So that way we can control this height and make it whatever we want. And that solved that. The way this framing was, we had to go in this spot. There was no changing it. That's just how it was. It ended up being fulls and halves all the way around. We custom made this box. So this we do like to plan out. We have a full here and a full here. We don't really worry too much about these because again, there's plumbing in this wall. This stud couldn't be moved. This one couldn't be moved because there's a bunch of stuff here for support for the roof. So the box had to go here. There was no moving it. We always try to encourage our customers. We understand it's a little bit more of expense. It's a lot more time waiting in between steps for us and them. But we always like to recommend solid surface tops because any horizontal surface in the shower That's where all the soap and stone and everything collects. So this way you don't have any grout joints to keep clean. It's just one solid piece. Just take a rag, wipe it off, easy peasy. It takes longer for us and the homeowner and the project as a whole because we have to have these fabricated. We don't make these. So the people who do this generally have to come in. For this they have the template, the tub deck. These we can just give them measurements and we cut these on site to the length we need. But we have to have a certain amount finished for us to get accurate measurements for this. And then we have to wait generally about a week or so. Most times we can fit that week in while we're doing a different part of this project. But sometimes we have to pull off, we'll do a small backsplash, something like that while we're waiting for the granite pieces. A lot of people, they have this mindset that they have to have this bathroom done as fast as possible. But I'm telling you, it's worth the wait to do the solid surface tops. It's worth the extra money. Because don't think about it just right now. Think about it in the future when you're cleaning. And it just makes it a whole lot easier cleaning. You don't have to scrub grout joints, none of that nonsense. Here's the Wi-Fi thermostat for the Flexbone heat. You just set your temperature that you want. Right now this floor is running at 76 degrees and it's Wi-Fi enabled, so you can control it with your phone from anywhere. You can run this on a schedule, which most people don't. You just set it and just leave it alone. And then there's the access point for, and there's the wire connection for the heat system. On this bathroom, we handle the plumbing, the tile, and the glass install. Homeowner, he did the painting himself. He installed the cabinets himself, and Top South handled all the granite fabrication installation for the countertops. They installed this, but we installed these pieces right here. These and the curbs and the shelf. We installed those because those are inside the wet area. So we need to make sure we install those. Like always, this is a Schluter shower system. We use Curdy board and Curdy, and it was all put together with a waterproof mortar, which is 8+9 by Ardex. And we used Ardex X5 for setting everything. We used liquid backboard on the floor. And like every bathroom we do, we include a 24-hour minimum flood test. That's the only way to ensure that your shower will hold water for the life of the shower. If you care about how your project's built, if you care about who's working in your home, if you care about quality, longevity, function, please visit HamiltonTileGA.com for your next bathroom remodel.
Size. It does matter during a bathroom remodel. What do I mean by that? Well, here at Hamilton Tile, we are a small owner-operated company, and that has many advantages for you as a homeowner in comparison to the big guys. What are those advantages? During these uncertain times, you want to know who's working in your home. Communication and responsiveness, we are superior in that department. Quality control, we have that covered. Also, we have the discretion to make decisions that the workers for the big guys aren't going to have. You'll have to call the office for that, and you don't want to deal with that headache. So go with the little guys on your next bathroom remodel. HamiltonTileGA.com for the service and the quality that you deserve. Small is beautiful during a bathroom remodel.